Good morning dear students, welcome once again. In our last class we have read about the structure of atmosphere. You might have remembered, right? Different layers of atmosphere. Troposphere is there, stratosphere is there, mesosphere is there, then thermosphere is there, exosphere is there, right? Now in this section we are going to read about air pressure, okay? Air pressure, as the name suggests, the pressure exerted by the air is air pressure, right? So let's see what air pressure is. Air pressure is nothing but pressure, okay, exerted by the weight of air on Earth's surface. Suppose if this is Earth, the pressure that is being exerted, or you can say the pressure which is being put on by the weight of the air on Earth is air pressure, right? So what is air pressure? Pressure exerted, pressure given by the weight of the air, okay? Weight means how much weight air has, or weight means the which is measured in kilograms and something, right? Remember weight, the mass, right? Yes. So you remember this thing always, that hot air is lighter than cold air. Lighter means not heavy, okay? So hot air, suppose air is over here, and if it becomes hot, it becomes lighter, and the lighter air always moves up, goes to the sky. Always remember this phenomenon, because now whatever I am teaching you is related to this phenomenon only, okay? So when temperature is high, suppose on a day if temperature is high, or if there is a scorching heat, or sun is on its peak, okay, too much heat is there, then what happens? It will warm up the air over here on the Earth's surface, right? Earth reflects its warmness, Earth reflects its heat to the surrounding air, right? Yes. So when temperature is high, the air gets heated. Obviously, suppose if the temperature is high, it heats the air, and as a result, because air gets heated, it becomes hot, it becomes lighter, and as a result it goes up, it moves up, okay? So the air that gets heated rises up, which creates a low pressure area over there. Suppose if air is present over here, it gets heated up. As soon as this air gets heated up, it rises, it start rising up and start going to the sky. Because there is no air right now over here, it creates a low pressure area over here, isn't it? Because there is no air, or air is present in very less amount. So because of unavailability of air, or because of less quantity of air, that area becomes what? Becomes low pressure area, right? Because no pressure is there of the air now, because air has risen up, already the air went up, so it creates a low pressure area. Clear? In the same way, when temperature is low, suppose if there is low temperature or almost no temperature, especially on rainy days, or especially when the sun is not there, the air is cold and therefore heavy, right? If it is a cold air, it is a heavier, and heavier air will remain remain over there, or you can say it can't rise up, can't empty the area. Okay, heavy air sinks, gets down, heavy air sinks and creates high pressure area. So this is the phenomenon how a low pressure area is created and a high pressure area is created. Always make it a point. That's why the wind blows. Why the wind blows? Because suppose if there is sun, it heats up the air on the surface of the earth. Hot air starts rising up, and the cold air which is available at the top or at somewhat higher extent runs to take the place of the hot air. That's why the wind blows, wind flows. That is the phenomenon related to your flowing of wind or wind blowing. Okay, yes. Now the air always moves from high pressure area to low pressure area. This is also the thing, right? If we have a low pressure area, that means there is no air. So air from the high pressure area will always comes to take the place of low pressure area. That's why the air always moves from area of high pressure to the area of low pressure. Clear? Yes, this is the basic phenomenon. If you have understood this phenomenon, your one concept of wind flowing and related to your wind or air is gets over. Okay, yes, you read this time and again, you will understand the phenomenon by reading it and by watching my video. Okay, yes. Now wind, what is wind? The movement of air from the high pressure area to low pressure area. I have already told you, right? The air moves from area of high pressure to the area of low pressure. So whenever there is a movement of air from the region, from the area of high pressure to the region, to the area of low pressure, it is wind. Okay, the low pressure area has no air, so the area which has high pressure, that means where there is cold wind, runs to take the place of empty space. So this movement of the air can be considered as wind. Okay, yes. Now there are three types of wind. First is permanent wind. Let's try to understand what is permanent wind. So the wind that blows constantly throughout the year, that means all throughout the year, throughout the whole year, that means in every season, every month, every day almost it is blowing. Those winds which blow constantly throughout the year, that means every month, every day, every year it blows. Okay, those winds are permanent wind. Example also I have given: trade winds, westerlies, easterlies. Okay, these are examples of those winds that blow constantly at regular intervals throughout the year. That means every day, every month, in every season, almost throughout the year, every these are seasonal winds. They change their direction in different season. Suppose in the winter season it blows from east to west. Then in summer it changes its direction. It will blow from west to east. That means those winds which change their direction as per according to season, okay, or those winds which change their direction of blowing in particular season are seasonal winds. As for example, monsoon winds in India. Monsoon winds have a characteristic. Monsoon winds have a quality. What is the quality? The quality is from wherever it will collect the moisture. It will collect the moisture, and for making the moisture to fall as a rain, it constantly keeps on changing its direction. Sometimes it blows from north to south. Sometimes it blows from south to north. Okay, sometimes it blows from east to west, sometimes it blows from west to east, right? So like that, the wind that changes its direction, okay, in particular season or in different season are seasonal winds. Clear? Yes. And third type of wind is your local winds. What are local winds? They blow only during particular period of day or year. That means they are not blowing throughout the year. They are not blowing throughout every month, every day. It is not necessary that they will blow every day. Okay? They may blow. So they blow only during particular period of day or year. Sometime it blows, sometime it can't blow. Very rarely it blows. Okay, example is your land breeze and sea breeze. Okay, so these are three types of different kinds of wind. Okay, now moisture. This is also a term which you have to know. From the beginning you are using moisture. What is moisture? The content of water vapor or the presence of water vapor. The quantity of water vapor in air is moisture. Yes, moisture in the air at any time. Okay, moisture in the air. If there is moisture in the air, okay, it is known as humidity. So during rainy season you may find too much humidity is there in the air. That means the quantity of water vapor is more in air. Okay, when air is full of water vapor, when air is full of water vapor, we call it a humid day, because too much humidity is there. That's why we call it a humid day. The phenomenon is very simple. Suppose if I am standing over here and very too much heat is there, sun is there, then humidity will be no more. That means there will be no amount of water vapor in the air. But if there is no sun and the season is almost somewhat rainy or the weather is rainy, too much water or moisture is there in the air, which makes up the climate humid. Okay, yes, okay. So when air is full of water vapor, we call it a humid day. Okay. Yes, this is all about moisture, water vapor, humidity or humid. Okay. Yes, all these things in one way or the other are same only. Okay. Now, question answer of air called atmosphere. Clear? Yes. These are simple questions here. Which two gases make the bulk of atmosphere? Remember constituents, composition of air, atmosphere? Yes, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide is there, argon is there, hydrogen is there. Too many gases are there. But which two gases form the bulk of atmosphere? That means which are present in larger amount. Nitrogen and oxygen. Yes. Which gas creates greenhouse effect in atmosphere? Which gas is responsible for greenhouse effect? Because you have to read the greenhouse effect in higher class. I have not discussed it, but for the time being, you should know that carbon dioxide is the gas responsible for greenhouse effect. Someday or other, I will explain greenhouse effect also. Okay? Have patience. So it's the carbon dioxide gas that creates greenhouse effect. Okay? Another question, what is weather? I have already discussed the weather phenomenon. You mean to say the atmospheric condition that prevails, that exists for shorter period of time, for few hours, hour to hour or day to day condition of the atmosphere is weather. Hour to hour, day to day condition of atmosphere is weather. Right? Yes. Now name the three types of rainfall. You have to just name three types of rainfall. They are convectional rainfall, orographic rainfall and cyclonic rainfall. Only you have to remember the names. In higher classes, what are convectional rainfall, what are orographic rainfall and what are cyclonic rainfall, you will learn. Okay? Yes. This time only remember the name. Rest of the things not required right now in this class. Okay? Now, what is air pressure? Another question is, what is air pressure? The pressure exerted, pressure given by weight of air on the surface of earth, on earth's surface is called air pressure. Now two reasons are there. Okay, match the following, fill in the blanks. You can do it, they are very simple. By looking at the answers you do it simply. Okay, I don't think there will be any problem. In give reason there are two questions. First question is, wet clothes take longer time to dry on humid day. Give reason means you have to put a why, why to the question. Why wet clothes take longer time to dry on humid day? The answer is very simple. On humid day, the atmosphere is full of water vapor. Okay? So the wind blowing can't take the water from the cloth and escape away. They can't able to take the water vapor from the clothes easily. That's why clothes take longer time to dry on humid day. Okay? On humid day, the humidity is very high. Humidity is very high, right? On rainy day, on humid day, right? So what is humidity? I have explained also. Water vapor in atmosphere is high. If I am telling humidity is high, that means water vapor in atmosphere is high. Because the water vapor, the content of water vapor is high in atmosphere, that's why air is not able to carry water vapor with it. That means they can't able to take away the water vapor from clothes, okay, and escape away. That means why the clothes dry up? Because wind blowing takes up the water vapor from the clothes and goes away, right? That's why evaporation takes place and clothes get dried up. Okay, because on humid day the water vapor content is too much in the air, so air is not able to carry more water vapor with it, so clothes take more time to dry on humid day. Okay, yes. Another question, amount of insolation decreases from equator towards pole. That means insolation, that means amount of heat received by earth is insolation. Why the insolation amount decreases, that means gets lower from equator towards pole. That means on pole no heat is there, that's why poles have ice, right? Whereas on equator too much heat is there. The answer is very simple. See, sun is over there, earth is over there. So when the sun rays are falling on the earth, they fall directly on the equator. Whereas on poles, it can't fall directly. Very rarely it reaches the pole. Okay? The heat of the sun very rarely reaches the pole, whereas it falls directly on equator. Earth is tilted, right? Because of which the heat of the sun very rarely reaches the pole of the earth. That's why amount of insolation is more on equator, less on poles. Clear? Insolation is the incoming solar energy or heat energy received by earth, right? Sunlight falls almost vertically on equator. See, it is falling directly on the equator, whereas it falls at some angle on the poles. It falls at some angles on the pole. It rarely reaches the poles. That's why the amount of insolation is high on equators and very less on poles. Clear? Yes. Now there are some interturn questions. Look at the questions very carefully. I think you are also going to answer. In which layer of atmosphere do aeroplanes fly? Yes, aeroplanes fly in those regions, in those areas which are free from clouds, which are free from weather phenomenon. Suppose if rain will fall, it make the aeroplane to get disbalanced, right? Because of weather phenomenon. So they will fly in such layer which has no weather phenomenon. That means it is stratosphere. Okay, in the layer of stratosphere there is no weather phenomenon, no clouds, right? That's why the aeroplanes fly in stratosphere layer. Okay, yes. Now another question, where do meteorites burn up in atmosphere? I think everybody knows the answer of this question. Meteorites burn up in which layer of atmosphere? Yes, it is mesosphere, right? Yes, it is mesosphere where meteorites burn up, right? Yes. Another question coming to your way. Name the instrument for measuring temperature. Very simple question. In class 2, 3, 4 also you have learned. Instrument for measuring temperature is thermometer. Yes, very good. Thermometer is the answer. Right? Yes. Now coming on to the next question. Why there is no air pressure on moon? Yes, I think this is the simplest of the simple answer. Why there is no air pressure on moon? Just because of simple thing. Air pressure is there where there is air. If there is no air, what to talk of the pressure, right? Yes, that's why, because there is no air on moon, so there is no pressure over there. There is no air pressure on moon. Clear? Yes. Which gas protects us from harmful ultraviolet rays? This also I have discussed. Okay, which gas protects us from harmful ultraviolet rays? have remembered? Yes, it is ozone layer, ozone gas, which protects us from harmful ultraviolet rays, right? It is ozone which protects us from harmful ultraviolet rays. Clear? Yes. I think now you are in a position to answer most of the questions. Okay, this chapter is almost over. Note down your homeworks here. Your homework is, first question is what is air pressure? Okay, very simple. Second is you have to learn the question answers of this chapter, all the question answers. Okay, moreover, third question is which gas protects us from harmful ultraviolet sun rays? Okay, which gas protects us from harmful ultraviolet sun rays? Simple questions, but you have to learn the question answer also. Okay, by the next time I am going to take up another chapter. Okay, till then it's bye from my side. Have a nice day, have a wonderful day, enjoy with your family. Bye.